Hi guys, I'm back again. I'm going to be doing something tonight that's a little different for dinner. I'm going to be making some homemade veggie burgers. I'm going to be putting my own recipe together. I looked at a few recipes and I'm just going to use what I have around the house. But hopefully these will turn out okay. I'm going to be improvising a little bit using what I already have. Let's get started. First up is we're going to rinse some beans. We're going to rinse a combination of black beans and yellow corn. So let's mix that up. Let's rinse these. I usually like to rinse my beans or any vegetable that I make off pretty good. Just to get the slime type stuff off of my bean mixture. And then we're going to sit that aside and let that drain. So this is my bean and rice mixture. I just opened up a can of regular black beans and a can of regular corn. And in this recipe, we're going to be using some coconut aminos. We're going to be chopping up an onion. We're going to be using some leftover chili mixture, chili O, that I had around the house. And I'm going to incorporate some Impossible Burger in my veggie burgers. I know that most people that eat veggie burgers, they go all out and it's just plain veggie. But this Impossible, which I'm quite sure all of you out there uh, is familiar with, Impossible plant-based ground beef. I'm just going to throw that in there. Okay, and also we're going to use one brown egg, and I'm debating on what other spices I'm going to use because I'm not going to use walnuts or any type of nut or breadcrumbs on this because we're just going to make a plain burger. So also the recipe calls for some avocado oil, some avocado oil. I'm going to look back at the recipe to see how much avocado oil, probably not that much. And then I'm just going to use some basic, I have a little bit of Grill Mates hamburger uh, seasoning left. I have also, the recipe itself called for some smoked paprika. So we're going to be putting some of that in there. And also, we're going to do a little all-purpose meat and veggie from Kinders. Guys, I have to kind of keep my spices down to a minimum because of health issues. So I don't do a lot of salt and stuff. But it did call for some sea salt. But instead, I'm going to be using some Himalayan pink salt. And I'm going to debate whether or not to use any more spices. I don't normally eat a lot of spicy food. So, but for some of you out there, you can tweak this recipe to whatever you want it to be. If you want it super hot, go for it. If you want it mild, go for it. You can throw in any type of vegetable, cilantro. I'm also cooking some brown rice, As you can see here, I'm boiling some brown rice, and we're just going to let that boil. The recipe actually called for brown rice, but you can use rice of any kind that you want. It does not have to be brown rice. So let's just let that cook. And I'm gonna get my mini food processor out so that we can sit you guys back here. I hope you guys can see everything. Um, I'm gonna use my mini food processor to kind of grind these things up so that they can look like a burger. And here she goes. This is my mini food processor. So let's get her set up, and then let me just go ahead and start the grinding process of the beans and the rice. I'm also going to throw in a little tomato paste. Let me get that. My daughter already opened some tomato paste to make her own homemade ketchup. Go figure that one. But anyway, here we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to spoon in little by little this mixture of beans and corn. I want everything to have a nice rounded consistency, but I've seen veggie burgers with whole kernels of white corn or with chilies, whole chilies. There's so many different variations out there within the burger itself. I just decided to just throw it all together. So let's see. This is an experiment as well. For all you veggie burger experts out there, don't come at me. So we're just going to, like I said, spoon this in, and we're going to grind them. Spoon in. I lost the kernel. Okay. And let me also